others. So if you know someone who has been hurt, harmed, or injured in any way, please have them call Mark immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Marc Ellis.
Flip the on-off switch on the side.
There's a point in the correct direction. That's what I'm supposed to do. So, let's see here. One of the things that I do is I deal with auto accidents, as previously alluded to, for example, my daughter. And it's an incredibly stressful situation, so what you really don't want to do is try and handle things by yourself. This here is an incident where my client was driving over on Bolsa Chica, minding her own business, zipping along. Somebody thought, hey, I could probably make that little turnabout up there. Comes out of a parking lot, goes the wrong direction down the street because she figured it was only 50 feet. Unfortunately, within about 45 feet, she met my client. My client had an immediate disagreement with the insurance company who said, well, you can't be that hurt. Well, in fact, she had a fractured spine, and this is her in a seat collar at the hospital. So her situation was not uncommon with many of my other clients. They tend to have situations where they find themselves injured in some manner and they don't know where to go or what to do. There was an excellent case for me, not so good for the family, referred by one of the members in the group, where you'll see here, let me see, this is the laser pointer. How's the laser pointer work?
Hey.
Right around there. You can see there, that's the back seat. You see here, that's the car. These are the wheels, that's not where the wheels won't. They were at a stop, coming home from a Thanksgiving party. It was a family of 4. Now, the interesting part is that all 3 children were in the back seat. The back seat that's currently here. The little child, one was tucked under here, underneath that seat. The other little child was tucked under here, into that seat. And for whatever reason, blessing be that it may, the tallest child was in between the seats. He was sitting in the middle. As his head lunged forward, he managed to sever his ear, and you can see this is where his ear was ripped in half. Once again, the insurance company said, we're not really sure it's our fault. We're not so certain. Turns out that the gal that was driving had a hookup with the police. She happened to work for the department, so they fairly summarily determined that there was not an alcohol-related incident, which I probably disagree with, since it was around 12:30, since her statement was, I didn't see him. She hit him at about 60, and this is what happens. Now, the good news is that, of course, we were able to resolve the matter favorably for the family. We were able to get this young man and his sister and his brother the monies that they deserve. Mom actually didn't suffer significant physical injuries, but I was able to get her a substantial amount of recovery because I finally did have an individual who listened to me. And basically the concept was this. What amount of money would you receive and or accept to allow you to turn around and see what is almost a lifeless body before you? You're non-responsive, bleeding 4-year-old that you can barely see, but the limbs that you see are not moving. And your cries and your pleas to the child to wake up go unanswered. Throw a number at it, because there is no money. So I was able to get a substantial recovery for these individuals because we were able to make that persuasive argument that, you know what, you don't want me going in front of a jury and telling them that. Because any mother is going to just say, give them a check and fill in the zeros. So this is what I do for people. I try to help people when they're in a situation where they can try and get some money. Because I can't get apologies. I can't get do-overs. I can sometimes get changes, and we'll talk about the changes that I can do, but ostensibly as it pertains to auto accidents, I can try and get you money, I can try and get you medical care, and I can try and get your family treatment. This was a family of 3, once again, a BNI referral. They were cruising down Heil, right over in the Beach and Heil area, not far, actually exactly on your corner. And the car decided that he thought he had a left turn signal. And even if you're a professional driver, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to stop. This is in fact an indication. As you see here, what we've got is the emergency brake. Most people don't even know they have one in their car. If you're a professional driver, you'll know exactly where it's located. My guy is a truck driver. Unfortunately, by the time he grabbed it, the guy had already hit him, he had already T-boned him, and all he mentioned to do was rip it off the column there, you see. So, even being a professional driver is not going to stop knuckleheads from doing irresponsible and ridiculous things. This was his wife who was in the back seat tending to their child. She managed to have a broken nose, broken eye orbit, and she broke her hand. Now the biggest problem in this case is that we had an uninsured driver who wasn't worth a pot to I can explain actually where apothecary came from if you meet me one-on-one, but that's more into it. Pertains to the dyeing of fabric that we'll talk later. So the guy that they hit was useless and worthless, and they had crappy uninsured motorist coverage. So what we're going to talk about at some point is how that you can protect yourself as well as protecting others. What I seek to do, as I've mentioned in the intro, is seek accountability for the negligent drivers, and also some manner of accountability as to the insurance companies who understandably have a vested interest that is the bottom line. They have a bottom line that they need to maintain, whether it be a mutual company or a privately held or a public company. They've got dollars. If they pay out willy-nilly, just giving all the money they can, then no one's going to be able to afford insurance, and it'll be worse than the 1 out of 4 people who are uninsured in this part of our country. So what I will do is I will help you. I will help the people that you bring to me, the injured parties, seek the accountability via finances for the person that hit them, as well as through the uninsured motorist coverage. What I want you to take from today is, this is your first takeaway, mental note. When you go home, when you go to your office, look at your insurance policy and make certain that you see UIM on your policy, and make certain that it is equal to the liability limits that you have. If you do not, call this guy today, because what underinsured motorist coverage does is it protects you to the same extent that you protect others, and it's only fair. So, do I want you? No, I do not want you to be my client, but I do want you to refer to me. If you know somebody that's walking with a limp, if you see somebody with an unbelievable story, if you see somebody with concerns about their auto insurance that just went up because they had an accident that they didn't cause, and basically, if you see somebody new car shopping and they say the last one got totaled, they need to come to me because they very well may have a story, a situation that I can be involved with. I've gone way over and I'm belaboring, so I'll go quickly through another thing that you can take home. Do not have an 8-inch hole on your property, because if you do, somebody very well might end up with a broken leg. As your property owner, you are responsible for your property, even the concrete, even the sidewalk. You might argue it's the government, but it's your responsibility. Make sure you take care of it. We might even have a guy that has commercial insurance that could help you if in fact you find that. If you know somebody with that problem, they should look into it. This is my client who, that's actually his good leg. The other leg is missing because he had a prosthetic. He fell in an 18-inch hole, which was dug by, I almost said the name of somebody, but I can't, but let's just say, it sounds like Horizon. And they left an 18-inch hole, and he ended up with a lovely little thing in his knee. So, if you know somebody that has been fallen, hurt, harmed, or injured, again, I don't want it to be you, but I do want you to let me know if you know somebody that's fallen. I will say to you that I am very thankful to BNI, and so when you've got the unbelievable person that says, I couldn't believe it, suddenly the ground opened up and there was a hole in front of me, and what the hell was that sidewalk, 6 inches raised? They need to make sure that they get a hold of me right away. So, to all the people that have given me referrals, and I've got a very, very handsome one here that I thank you very much, thank you so much. And to my new members, what I want you to know is, you don't have to be scared. We got you.